Hey, it's Ben Lister here, and today I want to talk about the easiest way to market your remodeling business, and that is through social proof. Now, this is something that I see time and time again. Remodeling business owners, construction business owners, they don't do this correctly, and they are sitting on tons of reviews, tons of testimonials, and they're not using them properly. And this is a really, really important video because social proof is one of the biggest cognitive biases out there, and it is really going to 2x, 3x your business if you can implement this in a way that is effective. And you really don't have to do any work because most of you guys have the reviews, you have the testimonials, you have a bunch of customers that are happy, and really this is going to be a quickest way to effectively double your marketing output. So my name's Ben Lister. If you're not familiar with me, I help remodeling businesses, construction businesses, general contractors to crack the code of marketing and to give them an excess of customers available to them. So as I was saying, social proof is one of the main cognitive biases. Now, if you don't know what a cognitive bias is, it is sort of like an evolutionary hangover that all humans have. And you could almost think of it like an optical illusion, but for your thinking. So humans evolved in a way that they can think about things and they can do certain actions without consciously thinking about them. So for example, if you put your hand on a hot stove, you will instantly lift that up without thinking because it is just something that your body does, and humans have evolved that way and it keeps them safe. And the reason that it's not a conscious thing is so that it actually saves energy and saves calories. So we can think about a bunch of different things really quickly and it doesn't take tons and tons of energy, and it means that we can actually do more, think more, and we can make these quick decisions and processes incredibly fast without having to use too much energy. Now, I must give some kind of warning here because cognitive biases are incredibly powerful, and once you actually understand the power of these and the control that you can have and the amount of persuasive technique that you can have, people can use these in a pretty unethical way. So there must be some kind of warning here, basically just to not use them in some unethical way. Only use them to promote your business in ethical ways and to not really lean on these too much. You can get pretty good at these and to basically get people towards your way of thinking really effectively, but obviously we must make sure that it is the most ethical way possible. So social proof establishes your credibility as an industry leader. It leaves little doubt in the prospect's minds that your claims or the claims of the person giving a testimonial is valid because they have no incentive to actually vouch for the business. If they're not being paid, if they're just simply a customer, they've actually paid for the work, there's no incentive for them to actually go and shout about your business unless you've actually give a fantastic service to the customer. It also proves that you actually aren't a novice and you are experienced, and people naturally tie experience to skill. So social proof is a fantastic trust builder as well. If you've made a bunch of claims to the prospect while you are selling to them, while you are pitching them, if you then go and show them your reviews and the prospects are saying the same thing from the reviews, then it establishes trust, and everything else that you said before that is likely to also be trustworthy, because why would you lie about one thing and not lie about another? And this can actually make any sales skills or tactics that you're using twice as effective. So now you have a pretty substantial amount of trust from the prospect, and the prospect is pretty likely to believe anything that you say at this point because they have a bunch of proof in front of them that what you're saying is actually correct. So this is the reason that why when you Google a business, one of the first things that you see is the reviews, obviously the star rating. And it's the same reason that why when you shop on Amazon, you can never not see the reviews. Even when you're on the main search menu or when you go onto the product page, the reviews are a staple of that page. You can always see exactly how many reviews they have, how many stars they have, and it's always a very prominent part of the pages. And this is because it's valued so highly, not by the business itself, but by the people who are buying, the customers. And you'll often recall that when you're buying something, one of the things that you will always look for, I always look for, is the reviews, what people are saying, because obviously the business can make claims and they are always going to talk good about the product, but there's often things that you don't see that you can pick up in the reviews. So you're always going to be looking for the reviews to see what other people have said. And so if you do the same thing in your business, then people are going to be looking for reviews, they're going to be looking for bad things. If they can't find any, if they can only see good things, then that just reconfirms what they were thinking, is that this will be a good purchase to make and I should work with this business. And so there is no doubt about it. If you have customers that have bought from you in the past, that have had a successful service, that are happy with the service that they got, and they have not left you a review, and you have not asked them for a review, then you are leaving money on the table. There is no doubt about it. And this is the same that if you have reviews and you aren't actively promoting them, if you aren't sharing them onto your social media pages, if you aren't putting them onto your landing pages and into your marketing or onto your flyers or whatever it may be, then you are again leaving a bunch of money on the table. And this will really help for those marketing strategies to actually convert better, and it's completely free because you already have those reviews. So how do we actually share social proof? Now, social media is the biggest driver of this. It's a fantastic way to fill up your content calendars just by screenshotting reviews that you've had on Google or Yelp or whatever it may be, and leaving a nice comment or saying, a nice call to action at the bottom of that. And this can be done through regular posts or through stories on social media. And realistically, you want to tell the story about that review, maybe link some photos with that as well, so that the person that's reading this can actually see how well the service is, and they can make a judge for themselves if they like the service. And obviously if they have the social proof there to back them up, then they're likely going to agree with that review in the first place. Another way is by asking your customers for some kind of review in favor of an upsell or some kind of discount or something like that. I know a lot of business owners might be skeptical about giving some kind of discount or a freebie or something like that, but the return on investment by having someone leave a review in place of $100 or whatever it may be is so high, because you can use that review again and again and again to generate more customers. And if that even converts one extra customer, then you're going to make your money back on that tenfold. So really, I would not be afraid of offering out freebies or discounts or anything like that in favor of a fair testimonial or review. And you can even go one step further with this and ask for a video interview. This, of course, can be difficult to achieve sometimes, but it's basically where you sit down with a customer and you just ask them about their experience. What was it like before they were working with you? What was it like during? What it's like after? And then what they would say to anyone who was thinking about working with you. And realistically, it is just a fantastic way to do this, because you can 100% tell that this person is not some kind of paid actor. They are not sort of on your payroll or anything like that. They are a 100% genuine local person, and it is just a super simple way, an effective way to actually get the person who's watching the video on side of your way of thinking. And you can do this via a video call, or you can do this on the job side if that was possible, or anything like that, where you can just sit down and ask some questions and really get that person's opinion. Is going to be incredibly valuable. And just on a side note here, one example of social proof that I think really resonates here and is a great example of this is there was an experiment that I saw on some TV show or something like that, where they had paid actors in the room. There was like 5 paid actors, and then there was one person who thought they were doing some kind of experiments, and basically they were asked to do some really simple tasks. So someone was like drawing a bunch of lines, and they were saying which lines is the longest, and everyone was getting it correct. And then eventually the paid actors start to give the wrong answer, and the person that was at the end, so they were like the 6th person, was the one who was answering last. So it was like a really obvious question, right, where it was like, which one's the longest line? And everyone was saying it was like the first line, and it was clearly not the first line. And by the time they come to the 6th person, most people just went with the one that everyone else was saying, because they didn't want to stand out. And this is a great example of really how we can use this sort of way of thinking and this sort of like inability for people to want to stand out in our business. So if we have all of these reviews from all of these people saying all this good things, you kind of don't want to be the person that stands out and ever leaves a bad review or doesn't even work with the business, because all of these people are saying good things. How can your service have been bad, or how can your service not be great if everyone else's is great? And that is just a subconscious way as we as people think, and we don't really consciously or rationally think that. You just see a bunch of reviews, you see, it's worked for everyone else, it's probably going to work for me, and you don't really ever think that it's going to be any different from you. So it's like in that example, right, where everyone is sort of picking the wrong one, everyone's picking the wrong one. Even if you think that the work wasn't as good as you expected, or even if you think that it's different than what everyone else was experiencing, you're probably not even going to say anything, simply because you don't want to stand out and you don't want to be that one person who leaves a 3-star review when everyone else is leaving a 5-star review. It just makes you look like everyone else had a great service and stuff, like, why didn't you? And it's just like you're the odd one out here rather than the actual business. And There's a possibility of you using this in a way that is unethical, like I was explaining, but realistically, I know that most business owners won't do that, and it's just really an example for you to see exactly what is possible with this way of thinking. By the way, if you are struggling to get remodeling or construction or general contractor jobs, go ahead and click the first link in the description. Don't worry, it's not a 5-figure course, it's not some free training, it's nothing like that. It is just a video of me explaining how we can fix this problem. I'm going to be completely honest, it is a sales funnel. It's designed to sell you something, but you don't have to click it if you don't want to. You can just watch these videos and enjoy them and get the free content from them. No problem at all. So if you did enjoy the video, please do leave a like. And if you want me to talk about anything in particular, go ahead and comment that down below. If you want to watch more here and be up to date, go ahead and click the subscribe button. But yeah, I really appreciate you staying to the end and watching this. It means the absolute world to me. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your day. Cheers.